Hello guys, LifeHackster here, and today we are going to review and check out the Reolink E1 Outdoor CX. This is the first low-light pan and tilt and auto-tracking security camera from Reolink. If you know and like the CX410, then this is the pan and tilt version of it. But I know what y'all want to know and see, if it's low-light quality, the same as the CX410 or the CX810. Well, we will find out. Also, I bought this one from Amazon. If you've seen my previous video of Reolink's E1 Outdoor line of cameras, it was the PoE version that I checked and tested out, and I had some issues with it, which I'm hoping Reolink has already fixed it and has dialed in this CX model. So this E1 Outdoor CX records in 2K quality, 2560 by 1440 pixel resolution at 25 frames per second. It has an 89-degree horizontal and 46-degree vertical field of view. It is pan and tilt and can pan 355 degrees and tilt 50 degrees. Plus, it has smart detection and auto tracking, persons, pets, and vehicles. It has a low light sensor, 1.0 aperture, so with some ambient lighting, it can still see pretty good. But when it gets too dark, it has supplemental lights to provide full color recording. There's no black and white infrared night vision. This can connect to dual band Wi-Fi, 2.4 and 5 GHz. And because it is a Reolink, no monthly subscription needed. It can record to a microSD card inserted onto the camera itself, up to a 256GB card, or can record to any of Reolink's NVRs or to their home hub. This camera is IP65 weather resistant and is compatible with Google and Amazon devices. Inside the box, you will get some paperwork like the quick start guide and the mounting template. We have the mounting bracket. We have the power adapter, 12 volts, 1 amp. We have mounting screws and plastic anchors and the reset pin. And we have the camera itself. And just like in any E1 outdoor camera, it is plastic build. We have the camera lens, supplemental spotlights, mic, and on the back we have the speaker. Tilting down the camera, you will see a rubber flap that covers the microSD card slot and the reset hole. And on top or the bottom, we have the Q20 screw mount. For connections, we have the power port, 12 volts, and we have the Ethernet port if you want to directly connect it to your router. Lastly, we have a short Ethernet cable and a 4.5 meter power extension cable. So let's insert a microSD card and let's install this. For installation, I'm going to install this and set this up differently, and I'm going to connect this directly to my router. But I'm going to use a PoE switch. Now you have to power up this camera using the 12 volt power supply, but what I'll be using is a PoE splitter to provide power and also send and receive data using only one Ethernet cable connected to the PoE switch. And because I have the PoE splitter, I'm gonna use the Reolink's D20 junction box. And I will link all these items down in the description below if you want to set this up like mine. Let's open up the junction box, feed the Ethernet cable through, and screw this into the wall with the 3 included screws. Plug the cable to the PoE splitter and feed the camera cables through the junction box cover. Plug in the barrel plug from the PoE splitter to the camera and plug in the Ethernet connector to the Ethernet port of the camera. Tuck all the wires in and replace the cover of the junction box. Then screw it in using the included 3 machine screws. Slide in the rubber grommet and screw in the mount adapter to the camera. And mount the camera's bracket to the junction box using the 2 short machine screws, which should also be included with the junction box. Push in the wiring and the grommet into the hole for weather sealing and mount the camera to the mount and turn until it clicks in place. Plug in the other end of the Ethernet cable to a PoE switch that's connected to my network. To add the camera, make sure your phone is connected to your Wi-Fi network. Open up the Reolink app, and if you toggle to on, automatically add devices in the settings, just go to your cameras list. Scroll down and you will see the camera on the bottom. Click on it to finish setting up. Add a device password, name your device, and you can add or change this to Wi-Fi connection, but I'll use the Ethernet cable for true wired connectivity, and setup is finished. Let's check these settings in the app. Open up the Reolink app and you will see the recent snapshot from the camera. Click on it to get to live view, which loads up pretty quick. In here you can pause, listen, snapshot, or record the live view, change the live view's quality, clear, balanced, or fluent, and expand the live view. You can manually trigger the siren, turn on the spotlights, which are already on, mic to start two-way talk, which is full duplex, PTZ control, so there is a joystick where you can pan the camera to the left or right, tilt up or down. We have the monitor point or the home position. You can set it to return to the home position after how many seconds. Then we have preset positions, and you can add up to 64 presets. And it is pretty quick, like going to my patio and back to the home position. Playback, and you can sort which events you want to look at, like person and animals. Like on this one, it is able to record my little pet in my backyard. Too early to be out and about, buddy. Gear icon for the camera settings, and I'll just show you display, stream, and in clear mode 2560 by 1440. Frame rate is max 25 FPS, 20 is the default, and I set the bitrate to the max. Also, I made sure the frame rate is constant as well as the bitrate. It has HDR, which I left in auto, and you can also adjust the brightness and shadows here. Now in light and spotlight, we have the modes off, timer, auto, and smart mode, which will also turn on the spotlights when it detects smart events. In detection alarm, we have the auto tracking, on or off. It can track people as well as vehicles and animals. Tracking method, pan and tilt. And you can also set the tracking range if you want to limit it, which you can also schedule this. You can also set how long to wait before it goes back to the guard position. All the other stuff like recording and notifications are the same like other Reolink cameras. Now time to do some testing. So this is the video and audio quality of Reolink's E1 Outdoor CX. Video clarity test at 10 feet. 15. 20. 25. 30. 35. 40. Running the test. Alright, so this is how my backyard looks like at night. It is dark, but I have my neighbor's lights right there, and also have some bleeding on my windows from the lights inside. This is not how you're gonna set up the E1 Outdoor though, so you're not gonna turn off its supplemental lights. You will probably put it in auto mode or in smart mode. The spotlights will turn on, not too bright, but just enough to have some ambient lighting. But just this is an obligatory test because I've done this with all the low light cameras from Reolink. I just have to do this, but this is not how you're supposed to set up this camera. So this is the video quality of the E1 Outdoor CX at night, and this no spotlights, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet. 15. 20. 25. 30. 35. 40. So this is the video quality of the E1 Outdoor CX at night, and this is smart mode, and this is full brightness on the spotlights, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet. 15. 20. 25. 30. 35. 40. We are going to test the notification speed of the E1 Outdoor CX, and I'm on my 5G cellular network, and it is 128. Let's check it out. That's pretty quick, and it doesn't have rich notification, but you can, when you click on it, it should open up the live view, and it opens up pretty quick too. Alright, so it is 129, and let's see what the notification cool off of the E1 Outdoor CX. If there's any. Nope, there's not any. I got a notification again. Cool. We are going to test the maximum detection distance of the E1 Outdoor CX, and I've set the sensitivity to the highest, person detection only. Let's check 50 feet first. Nope, it didn't. Oh yeah, I thought it didn't detect me. It detected me 50 feet. Cool. Alright, so we are gonna listen in and see if there is some motor noise when this E1 Outdoor CX pans. Yep, I can hear it, but it is not that loud. Especially if you're about 5-10 feet away from the camera, you will not be able to hear it. How about when it tilts? Tilting, you could barely hear it. This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink E1 Outdoor CX. This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink E1 Outdoor CX. Well, what do you think? Overall, the E1 Outdoor CX performed well in my testing. Video quality is pretty good in daytime for a 2K camera, and at night, pretty decent too with the supplemental lights on. I think its video quality at night without spotlights is the same as the CX410. But I learned something though during my testing, and that is the HDR setting. I have to turn it off instead of leaving it in auto because it switches on and off on where the camera is pointing in my backyard, and there's a big difference when it is on. This is how it looks like when it is on or left in auto in my setup. Pretty dark footage, so I have to turn it off. Also, just a note that you will really need to set up this camera either with the spotlights in auto or in smart mode instead of it off to get the most out of the camera, unless you have separate lighting in the area you are monitoring. Yes, it can see better in low light, but for the camera to perform its best, it still needs better lighting. As to the drifting guard position issue that I noticed when I tested the E1 Outdoor PoE version when it was initially released, I didn't notice this in this CX model, but this has only been up and set up for just a couple of days, so it will stay here in my backyard for a while with the auto tracking on and see if it loses its position after a week or two. And I'll add a comment in the description if that happens. Anyways, I think this is a pretty solid offering from Reolink, especially that it is about the same pricing as the CX410. You will just get a plastic build camera, but will have pan and tilt and tracking functions. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.